want jellied eels?
I've got a Chinese, salt and pepper chips, Chinese, cheese, beans and tuna. You actually cannot beat that combination, I don't care what you say.
If you're of the British persuasion, then you might get a little bit angry at me after watching this video, but that's okay because I don't really care. For far too long, you guys have been terrorizing the world, really just like period, but more specifically in recent times, you guys have been terrorizing the world with what you're calling food, and I can't stand for it any longer. Somebody has to do something. Somebody with a bigger heart than mine needs to tell the British that Churchill has been in the ground for quite some time, because if you've ever seen some of the stuff that our friends across the pond decide to eat, clearly they are unaware of this fact. British food is something that I've talked about a lot on this channel, normally in reference to our favorite master chef, Case Cooking. And I feel like doing that, you know, like only really paying attention to British food when it comes to Case Cooking, has sort of warped my perception on what British food and British cooking really is. Because as we know, Case Cooking is just a home cook. A home cook who definitely has you know, her own style. I feel like her being my main exposure, you know, the only time I'm really ever paying attention to British food, has warped my perception of what it really is, and I think it has. And it's done so by making me think it is not as bad as it is, because holy shit, I've been going down a rabbit hole on TikTok over the last week looking at a lot of different British foods and British recipes, and I'm convinced you guys are doing this as some sort of punishment for yourself that the rest of the world is just not clued in on. It's either that or just like one big joke that Americans don't get because we're all stupid. Because by the like third or fourth time I saw what you guys were calling Chinese food over there, I was ready to fly to London and start like a public movement. How you guys have managed to force undercooked, underseasoned French fries into every single cuisine that exists in your country is a mystery that modern science can still not explain, but I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. We haven't even watched these TikToks yet. Today I have a collection of like 6 or 7, oh my god. I have a number of TikToks to show you, and they all have their purpose. Purposes that you probably aren't gonna like, but purposes nonetheless. You'll see. Let's begin. Please subscribe.
Yes, please.
I get 5 mashed potatoes.
5 to eat in?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okie dokie, so this is the video that started it all. This is the video that sent me down this rabbit hole, and we're already off to a terrific start. The infamous green snot sauce. Now, from what I know, this is called liquor sauce, which is essentially just like a parsley gravy, like a pretty watery parsley gravy. Traditionally, it's made from eel stock, which we're going to talk more about eels here in a minute. The observant among you might have already noticed the horrific decal that is visible on the window in this frame. Yes, that says jellied eels. Don't worry, you'll see one soon. But yeah, this is basically just like bland, watery parsley gravy. Not the greatest start. Can't promise it's gonna get any better.
You do the jelly eels as well?
Yeah. You want jellied eels?
Yeah, go on, I'll try some of them as well, please.
Sure.
Thank you.
All on the same plate?
Yeah, please. Thank you.
Hungry?
A little bit, yeah.
I might be right there with you, pal. I will say the one saving grace throughout this video is that these pies look pretty damn good. I'm sure that they're like okay. I'd imagine if my American mouth ate one of these though, I'd be like, oh, that's what the 20s taste like. And I'm being for real. I was not joking when I said I went down a rabbit hole. Apparently these guys are using a recipe from 1926 and they haven't changed it, which, you know, is kind of cool in a way, but I don't think it's cool enough to trick my tongue. So that, my friends, is a jellied eel, and a jellied eel is exactly what it sounds like. It's a fucking jellied eel. Now, while I'd really like to just be a stupid American this entire video, I just can't help myself. I have to acknowledge two things, and the first of those things is that this kind of eating, this sort of meal, is not a normal thing in London. As much as I'd like to be like, look at what these dorks are eating all day, most people are not eating this. In fact, from what I can tell, most people don't even really like this kind of thing. This is a very traditional meal, and the second thing that I have to acknowledge, which kind of ties into that, is that a lot of the staples that exist in Britain today are staples because people ate them for years out of absolute necessity. As much as it pains me to give Britain credit for anything as an American, they did play a pretty big role in, you know, pretty much saving the world back in the 40s. They were putting in fucking work, and a lot of the stuff like this is a result of that because they just had to eat whatever they could, and potatoes, cheap meat, and jellied eels is a really well-rounded, nutritious meal that can be made pretty cheaply. So that aspect of this I can respect. The aspect aspect to this that I cannot understand though is why the fuck are you guys still eating like this? I know that I just said that most people don't like this meal in particular, and that's true, but you're gonna see very shortly that they didn't make it very far from this. They got like a step or two past pies, mash, and jellied eel, and they're like, you know what? This fucking rocks. Guys, our friend Winston is long gone. Been that way for a minute. The rest of the world is not doing this little thing called seasoning for no reason. It's not just because it's fun. There is more to the world than salt and pepper.
A chippy tea sandwich is a thing of dreams.
If this is what the average British person is dreaming about, I can't even begin to imagine what a nightmare looks like over there. Genuine question, what is with the fries? And I know, you call them chips. They're not chips though, they're fries. What's the deal? Like, don't get me wrong, I'm an American, I love a French fry, but there is a time and a place. They also have to be good. Like, it'd be one thing if you guys knew how to make a French fry. These are the best looking fries you'll see this entire video, which is really saying something if you've ever had a halfway decent French fry. But like, seriously, what's the deal? Y'all's Chinese food, the main dish is French fries. What is going on?
It just doesn't exist until now. Got a slice of buttered bread, some chippy chips, nice and crispy on the outside and soft on the middle, salt and vinegar, some mushy, look at colour of them peas, proper chippy mushy peas, a chicken and mushroom pie.
This is a joke, right? I fell for British rage bait, surely. This is why nobody can take you guys seriously. Everything you eat is the same thing. It's all just French fries, peas, vinegar, and a pie in different formats and with different sauces, and you somehow try and pass it off as different types of cuisine. This is like me drowning a hamburger in miso soup and calling it Japanese food. I'm losing my mind here, and we're only on the second TikTok.
Oh, look at that pie. This was so nice. Some really thick, proper chip shop gravy. And then the other slice of bread on top to make this chippy tea sandwich butty. Slice it in half and show you one of the greatest cross sections you did ever see. We're ready for it. Look at that.
This shit should get you guys removed from the UN. I'm being serious. The flavor profile of this human rights violation has got to be similar to like biting into a car battery. Vinegar, mushy peas, a mushroom pie, overcooked gravy, soggy fries, and soggy bread. Yummy.
Chippy tea sandwich. Obviously, you've then got to take the corner of the sandwich and dip it in the gravy. I give this a 16 out of 10. Genuinely.
Okay, so obviously this video is mostly jokes, but if this guy's being serious, if he really means that genuinely, I actually find that kind of sad. If you're rating a fucking chippy tea sandwich at a 16 out of 10, I'm gonna say that I feel like you've never experienced a good meal. Is that crazy? I don't think it is. Like, seriously, if this is a 16 out of 10, do me a favor, go buy like a Whopper. Shit's gonna blow your cock off.
I've got a Chinese, but I'm extra excited because this is from my favourite Chinese of all time. I've got a big salt and pepper munchie box. If you didn't already know, this Chinese is an hour away from me, so I don't get to have it very much, so I'm very excited right now. It's still boiling hot as well, even though it's an hour away. Salt and pepper chips, I can already see the Americans crying in the comments.
Yes, of course, Americans crying across the country because we have actual Chinese food and not just the same 4 ingredients rehashed a million different ways for everything. What a crazy dig. Obviously, a lot of Chinese food in America is, you know, Americanized, but there's also tons of traditional Chinese spots everywhere. This is the one thing I really don't understand. Everything else is kind of just a joke, but like, really, guys? If you're British, if you've never been to America, you do not know what you are missing when it comes to what you guys are calling Chinese food. You don't. You have no fucking clue. I promise you, I swear to you that the joke is on you.
These salt and pepper chips look pretty shit on camera, but I promise they're so good. They're really, really spicy. Try one quick. Some noodles. These noodles are really good. They taste so good on their own and they're just the perfect thickness. Salt and pepper ribs, chicken balls, salt and pepper chicken, a giant duck spring roll. I prefer the mini vegetable ones, but oh well. Oh, I've just seen that they give us free mini vegetable spring rolls. I manifested that. Curry sauce. It's a bit thick because it's been sitting for an hour. Right, let's tuck in. I'm going for some noodles first with some salt and pepper chicken. Oh my god. Oh, it's so tasty. Oh my god.
All right, so let's do a little bit of a recap on this meal that's supposed to make Americans jealous. We've got the ever-present curry sauce that seems to be in all of these British Chinese food videos, which I googled it, and apparently it's just like curry powder, but not Chinese curry powder mixed with gravy, and that's it. Again, not everything needs a gravy, guys. Everything seems to be salt and pepper flavored because, you know, God forbid anything tastes good. Every single thing is deep fried, and let me just make sure, yes, every single thing on the plate is beige, so not sure what about this plate is supposed to be making me jealous, but I'm sure the British people in the comments will let me know.
Rate my fish and chips order, and you're all going to go wild because I don't actually have fish on my fish and chips because I just find once it's wrapped up the batter goes all soggy. So this is what I have. So obviously the chips, got to have those, and I always pick a pie, normally a minced beef and onion pie, and then me and my husband get a battered sausage and we share it. So we snap it in half, and obviously you have to give your husband the biggest half of the sausage.
This country is a fucking joke. My God, the concept of calling a dish fish and chips when it is just French fries, a pie, and a battered sausage, and you guys make fun of the shit we eat. I don't even think that exists in America. That is something you'd expect to find in America, a deep fried sausage, but no, out goofying us again. But we'll talk about the bullshittery that is this meal in a second, but calling this fish and chips when the first thing you say after calling it that is that there's no fish is absurd. Genuinely, I don't understand what it is about the British where everything has to be like something that already exists. It's like not everything has to have French fries. Not everything needs a pie or a gravy. You guys can make new things. You know that, right? Like, look, don't get me wrong. I'm sure that, like, maybe I could go to London and find food that I like modern fun food, but there's too much of this shit on TikTok to write this off as, oh, this is just a small part of what they eat in England. There's no way. There is something going on in this country where they just don't want to try anything new, and I don't get it.
And then the sauce of my choice, it has to be chip shop curry sauce. I don't want any gravy, mushy peas, nope. Put a little bit of extra vinegar and a little bit of more salt on there, and this is my order, and here comes the best bit, my most favourite bit of fish and chips, or sausage and chips. Get that battered sausage and dip it in that curry sauce. Let me know what you think.
My thoughts? They're confused, and not in the good way. I can't wrap my head around this. I just can't. I really can't. I'm trying to think of some sort of like American equivalent. The best thing I can think of is how a lot of people like ranch on everything, but that's pretty niche. Like, I don't think that many people are drowning everything in ranch, and it feels like every video I see of anybody in England eating anything, they always have that fuck-ass cup of curry sauce, so it's like, I just don't get it. This cannot be the best sauce for everything.
Hey, it's only me. Friday only means one thing. Chippy tea! Oh, I saved myself this all day. All day. So, this is going to go down an absolute treat. Look at them babies. Chippy chips. Oh, yeah. There we go. Look at that. Steak and kidney pudding. Oh, yes, baby. Now, the colour of these peas says it all. That is the colour that we love to see.
Really? Are you sure? I don't really like peas. You know, I'm not a big pea guy. Well, I mean, but that seems like the wrong color for a pea. That shit looks like a toy. That is the color of play food. Also, they look cold and like nearly frozen. I noticed that about a lot of British food. Why does it always look ice cold?
And obviously, the gravy. I'm going to have to show you closer. Pudding, peas, chips, and then obviously, gravy. Look at that. Oh, that gravy's like nectar. That is a strong yes from me. Look at that pudding. Let's cut into it. Oh, look at that. A little bit of everything. Piping hot this as well. Look at that. Honestly, delish.
I have so many thoughts. We are like 5 videos deep right now of what's supposed to be like our countrywide tour of cooking across the pond, and you could go to the store, buy like 5 things, and pretty much make every single thing that we've seen so far. I mean, pie and mash, chippy tea sandwich, whatever the fuck that Chinese food was, the fish and chips that doesn't include fish, and then whatever we just saw. You go to the store, buy potatoes, some flour, whatever meat you want, some peas, and like butter if you don't have it, you can pretty much make everything we've seen so far. Guys, I promise you there is more to life than 5 ingredients.
You cannot convince me that cheese, beans and tuna mayo is not the best combination in the world.
No, I probably can't, and I'm not even gonna try. You know why? Because other than like peas, french fries with salt and vinegar, and some mashed potatoes, that's probably the only combination you've ever had. Not very strong competition there. Do you actually want to be convinced? Because if you do, fly to America. Anywhere you want, any state. Just find the cheapest flight you can get, and then do the following. If you land in the north, find somebody who acts like they hate you immediately. If you land in the south, find somebody who acts like they love you way too fucking much for having just met you. If you land on the east coast, find somebody who acts like they hate you, but their actions are kind. If you land on the west coast, find somebody who acts like they like you, but their actions are not kind. These people live there. They will know where to take you, and watch as your mind is blown as a nice older lady calls you nice names and feeds you the best food you've ever had in your entire life. See if you want to go back to your fucking beans and mayonnaise after that.
Cheese, beans and tuna. You actually cannot beat that combination. I don't care what you say. Anyone who's against it, I'm just convinced hasn't tried it.
Here's the thing, and I don't know if I've really like made this clear enough throughout the video. I'm sure that like everything we've taught, well, okay, I'm not gonna say everything. I'm sure that a lot of the things, well, I'm sure that like half of the things that they eat in Britain normally are fine. Like they're not bad, Americans would like them. Here's what's really getting me, and I think this is the disconnect between Americans and British people. You guys hype up your food so much that it's like, really? This is what you're getting excited about? You're eating a baked potato with tuna, mayonnaise, and baked beans. Like, yeah, that probably tastes fine. But that's like the extent of it, right? It tastes fine. It should not be the best thing you've ever had. It should not be the best combo on earth. I think that's what confuses so many Americans. Like, yeah, we eat slop over here all the time, but we recognize it as slop. Soggy fries, soggy peas, and overcooked gravy is what you've been looking forward to all week? Why? You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to speak for all my fellow Americans, but I feel like that is the confusing part. If all these TikToks didn't include people saying this is the best thing that they've ever had, they've been looking forward to it all week, the Americans will never understand they drove hours for this. All the Americans are missing out. Like, I don't think people would care as much. Really, I don't. But the fact that you guys hype this up as like the best thing ever, and you truly believe it, that's the kicker. Because you'll never get that the joke is on you. And that's fine, because I know you guys think the joke is on us, but it's not. The melting pot aspect of America is not only what makes this country such a beautiful place, it's what makes the food the best food out of any country on planet Earth. And I know, my British haters are immediately gonna say, well, that's because it's not from America. Yeah, no fucking shit, that's the point. That's why it's so good. Anything can be American food because anybody can be American. And that is the truth regardless of whatever bullshit rhetoric you hear on social media. Real Americans, Americans who believe in the true spirit of America, know that anybody can be an American no matter what you look like and no matter where you come from. And that's why our food is the greatest. Because anything can be American food, bitches. We've got it all. Well, guys, what are your thoughts? Are you booking a flight to London as we speak? I know I want to. Like I said, this video is all jokes, but like seriously, I would like for somebody to try to explain to me without just immediately calling me a stupid American, which, you know, could be seen as asking for too much after making fun of your food for 20 minutes, but I would like to know why it seems like everything in Britain is the same. Like, I get having your staples, I get having your classics, but why does everything have to be nothing more than just the smallest, most minute change on fish and chips or a pie and mash? I just don't get it. Like I said, there's far more to this world than those two things. Once you guys figure that out, you're gonna be a lot happier. I promise. See ya.